Good morning, everyone. This is Cliff Honus, and I'm coming to you from Central Texas. And I'm going to start a YouTube channel that details my passion of grass and cattle in that order. You gotta have good grass if you're gonna have happy cows. And there's a lot of things we'll talk about periodically as I'm able to make videos from the perspective of having enough time to do it and hopefully do a good job. But I'm out in the middle of a pasture that the cattle have been on for about 3 days, and I'm doing fairly intensive rotational grazing. I can't move the cattle as often as I would like just because of my other job as an equine veterinarian. But I wanted to show you this pasture here. This pasture was 100% totally brush, like you can see over here. I mean, it was thick. You couldn't even walk through it. And we came in after we had purchased this property, actually quite a few years after we purchased this property, and cleared out the yopon and the understory of brush and tried to save all the big oaks. And we've made this area very picturesque with the big trees for the cattle to get under. And interestingly, we did not have to plant any grass in this area, and over the course of a few years it all filled in. And our native pasture here, as far as native grasses, is not great, but there's improved grasses that have been planted and they have taken over, and that includes Bahia grass, and then there's some Bermuda grass, coastal Bermuda grass, that's grown from hay bales that I've fed out on the pasture. And so it's filled in very nicely. We can grow a lot of grass when we get good rains, which we've had awesome rains this May and June so far. And I wanted to show you the other side of the fence and the paddock that I will move these cows to here probably tomorrow morning. But you can see we've got dense grass cover. We've got some clover starting in here, some of which I planted, which is ball clover, and that's a very good reseeding clover. It has a hard seed and it reseeds the pastures if you let it go to seed, which I try to do, and move the cows off the pasture when it's starting to go to seed, and it's going to spread naturally. You can see these cows are fat as a tick. These are Angus cross cows. These are cows that I picked from 150 head that I once had, and then I sold most of them, kept a few good cows, and gradually built back to about 50 head of cows right now. I had that 150 head on lease pasture, and when I sold them, then I took that money and did some clearing and got these pastures in grass. And so we're about 10 o'clock in the morning. The cows have mostly eaten their fill and are now laying down chewing their cud. But I'm going to walk over here and I want to show you the grass on the other side of the hot wire. And I am 100% sold on the regenerative ranching concept. I've been instituting those practices here on this property, and I just started doing the electric fence predator is basically a predator, and that's what keeps the cows from moving on to other grasses and just picking the cream of the crop. So we intensively graze it, but try to leave a good solar panel so the grass recovers quickly, and it really improves your pasture quickly. It's pretty awesome. And so when you're walking, it's hard to keep the camera still, so I apologize for that. But I just want to show you across the wire here what this forage looks like. And I'm walking through grass right now on this paddock they're in that is pretty high. If you look at it, it's mid-calf or higher. A lot of it's a lot higher, where it runs up a stem for producing the seed. But I want to detail over the course of videos as I'm able to make them, and just show you how I do the things that I do. And I've patterned most of this off of Greg Judy, and so I would highly recommend you look at his channel. But here's the hot wire, and look at this forage in the next pasture. It's awesome. It is really awesome. And granted, we've had really good rains, but the cow moves, for me, it's every 3 to 4 days. And again, just because I'm extremely busy as a horse veterinarian. But this is my passion. I love cattle. I was raised on a ranch in southern Arizona where we could run about 1 cow per 36 acres. So 1 animal unit was about 36 acres. And here I'm doing about 1 animal unit per 2 acres for the year. I do feed a little bit of hay, and we'll talk about that as we go through the year and show you what I'm doing there. But this is where I'm going to start my channel, give you just a little overview, and then we'll add to that as we go. So I certainly appreciate y'all watching. If you want to like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and you'll see some regenerative ranching videos. You'll probably see some surgery on horses videos, and that's what you'll see on this channel. Have a great day and stay safe.